So it's been a minute since I've done any sort of talk on the camera style video other than like a fashion video, which is when someone asked me for advice. And as much as I know you folk want those are very difficult for me to make because I feel a bit preachy. It feels like, who the hell am I to tell someone what to do or what not to do? I suppose you want my opinion, but that's really all it is an opinion. Anyways, I'm here in San Francisco for a really cool event. So my friends at WM Brown and YOLO Magazine are hosting an aperitif event at Taylor's Keep here in San Francisco. So I came down as a guest of my friends and to support them in their event. And then tomorrow we do something really cool. We go to a place I've never been before. I've been to San Francisco one other time before now. That was with Corinne at Thanksgiving. But while I'm waiting for the event to commence, so to speak, I've taken my camera there, not the big lens. The big lens is for what we do tomorrow. So I just took my camera and went out on the streets of San Francisco. And I didn't actually go out with the intention to shoot street photography. Street photography is something that I've always been interested in, but it's not something that I've ever really done. I'm quite a shy person, and I don't like the potential negative interaction by me like snapping a picture of a stranger and then potentially having a negative reaction to it. Like, that terrifies me, so I don't really do street photography all that much. I consume a lot of it, but I don't actually do it. But I needed just a little bit of food in my belly. So I thought I'd just bring my camera with me, and if I see something interesting, I'll just snap it. And I thought, that's a style of video that I've never actually done before. It's actually something that I've never really shared on the internet before, because everybody knows me as like the fashion guy, and now the fashion guy that plays golf all the time. But photography is actually part of my life that I've never actually really shared much of it online. I do have a photography Instagram page that I don't upload anywhere near frequently enough. But before I went and studied marketing, and before I was the fashion guy on the internet, photography was my first love, was my first passion. So back in 2007, 2008, so this is like very early Instagram days. TikTok didn't exist. YouTube was obviously a thing, but it was still, YouTube was still a thing, but it was still kind of early. It's in its infancy. Instagram was maybe just coming around, and again, it was a photography app back then. I remember when I first got Instagram on my phone, and you couldn't actually upload photos to it. You had to use the in-app camera. And being a social media influencer or personality creator, those things didn't exist. Every single person on Instagram was just using terrible filters, taking pictures of their food, of their dogs, of their coffee, whatever it may be. And I loved photography. And around that time in 2008 was just when I finished secondary school back in Ireland, which would be your equivalent of high school if you're in America. And there was no jobs to be had. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I think I was only 17 or 18 when I finished school, and I was playing football quite competitively, and then I stopped playing football, finished school, didn't really know what to do with my life, and photography was the one hobby / passion that I genuinely loved. And I thought, I'll go study photography. There was no jobs to be had in photography. I didn't know how to go about it. I didn't know how to approach people and ask to be an assistant. I didn't know how to build a portfolio, any of that stuff. I was just taking photos all day, every day. And I thought, I'll go study photography in college for a couple of years, and that'll keep me busy while the world is on fire in that, epic recession that we had back then. And, you go all the way to 2026, the world is still on fire, just in a very different way. And I'm very, very lucky and very, very privileged that this is my job. I get to make videos and take photos every day, and it's my job. Social media is one of my many jobs, and I'm very lucky that I get to be creative on a daily basis and earn a really good living from it. But photography is, something that has, similar to golf, it's always been something that's like, for me, where like I play golf every single day. If I was to record every single round of golf and put it on the internet, people would be like, this guy has issues. And I play a lot of rounds of golf for my own peace of mind, for my own sanity, for my own peace and quiet and mental health. And photography is the same thing. Like, I'm put on a pair of headphones and I can just walk with my camera and just take photos. And I may never do anything with those photos. They may just live on my hard drive and never see the light of day. And sometimes I shoot film. Sometimes I shoot 120 medium format. I carry around my big, huge, fat Mamiya 647. And those photos never see the light of day either. I drop the rolls off, I get them developed, I get the negs and digital copies back, and I rarely do anything with them. It's just for me. It's just a creative process that's for me, because every other creative process that I do is for you. It's for the world. I upload an outfit video, or I do a round of golf, or I do a fragrance video, or whatever it is, and I put that out into the world. And that's for you. And don't get me wrong, some of it's for me. A lot of the time I get to scratch a creative itch, and as I said, I'm very, very lucky and very privileged that that's my life. That's the life that I get to live, and that's what I get to call a job. But for the last 10 plus years, 15 years or whatever, since I held my first ever camera, which was actually my dad's camera. It was a Fuji S2 Pro, which was a full frame camera. I think it had a Nikon mount, but on a Fuji body. So my dad's camera, and I remember just being absolutely hooked. And photography has always been a personal thing for me. But I thought maybe I could let it trickle onto the channel a little bit, and I could maybe photograph people who I think have really cool style, people who inspire me. So you guys who follow me from my style, and to potentially get inspiration from me, it might give you a little bit of an insight as to where I get inspiration from, what my eye sees, and maybe give you a little bit of insight into my brain and my mind, using the camera as a vessel, a vehicle for that. Does that make any sense at all? I hope it makes sense. It makes sense in my head, and I don't know if it makes sense coming out of my mouth, but I'm just going to trust it. Anyways, it is now 10 to 6, and I believe the event that I'm to be attending with my friends, so I best go and mosey on to head down there. All right. I won't bring the big camera, but I'll shoot a few clips on my phone. So what I'm waiting on right now is for somebody to just fill this little slot of light. But be patient for the right subject. There's someone coming now, but not quite the subject I want. And I have to aim it in between the cars.